Hey, what's up, everybody? Aaron. Wanted to do a quick video, just to discuss a situation that's been going on for quite some time. Started with the downing of an airplane. Actually, I'm sorry. It started with some rhetoric between two nations, and then with the invasion of one of the two nations. Speaking about the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the implications that could have on a global scale. I had done a video earlier before about the Syria conflict and the roles that the United States and Russia were both playing in that conflict. Now, this video, I kind of touched on it briefly in the previous video, and the purpose of this video is to discuss at greater length the Ukraine and Syria, the Ukraine situation with the Russian army in the United States. Now, the Syrian conflict, I kind of coined that to be a proxy war. This situation with Ukraine is, in effect, pretty much a similar type of situation. One side is backing the established government in Ukraine, the other is backing the rebels. And it's a similar type of situation. It's a situation that has chipped away at relations between the United States and Russia, as has the Syrian conflict. But this particular conflict is not getting as much airplay on the news as the Syrian conflict is. In fact, it's getting virtually no play. You have to almost go to alternative news outlets just to hear anything about it at all, because no news outlet will cover it honestly. The information that we are getting is totally false. The facts are, okay, and if you do your research, you'll find this to be true for yourself. The facts are, Russian troops are in Ukraine, not just Crimea. Though a lot of the troop buildup in Ukraine right now is within the Crimea region, which is true. But with the various rebel factions, now keep in mind, within Ukraine right now, there are a lot of splinter groups that broke off. There's been a lot of upheaval among the rebel factions in Ukraine. Now, that being said, on one side, you've got Russia backing and supporting one rebel group. On the other side, you've got the Ukrainian National Army, military, I should say. And in effect, you've got basically two wars going on at the same time that are essentially proxy wars. The United States is supporting and backing the Ukrainian government, stating that they are entitled to their sovereignty, which, most would agree with. But also keep in mind that Ukraine's government, from the Prime Minister all the way down to city councilmen, you've got all kinds of shady characters involved there. People from organized crime, Nazis. So that's who our government's supporting. It's not up to me to decide who's right and who's wrong in the conflict. I'm just trying to bring people the truth. I actually have been getting some of my updates on this from alternative news outlets like Vice, who actually have done dispatches from within Ukraine, and actually done some dispatches to various parts of Russia to do some reports regarding the conflict that's going on in Ukraine. And without coming right out and saying it, Russia's aim, Putin's not coming public and saying much about this conflict, but what is being said, not by the Russian government directly, but by citizens and soldiers from the Russian army, it is being said that, there is in fact a conflict going on. There are troops on the ground. They have invaded. Now, to what scale and the number of troops, that's it has been estimated that there's anywhere from 5 to 30,000 troops in Ukraine currently, Russian troops, but that, there's no way to know for sure. The Crimea region, regardless, that is a very pro-Russian part of that country. A good bit of that country, they still speak Russian. That's the primary language there. So, I don't have as much of a problem with that. Where my issue is the deception and lies around who's doing what in this conflict. And, that even comes over and points fingers at the media here in our country, the United States. We can't get the truth from our own news outlets. Then where do you turn? There's so much denial in all this, and the U.S.'s involvement is denied. Though it's proven, okay, and there are, if you YouTube it, there are plenty of non-Ukrainian, non-Russian speaking troops that speak English on the ground in Russia. So we're there too. In Ukraine. So we're also there. In one capacity or another, we're there. So we're involved. And in effect, you have two different theaters where the United States is squaring off with Russia, just not directly. And with all this being said, what does this mean? I'm not suggesting that, we're going to war. I'm not suggesting that this will become anything worse than this, but just if you watch your Fox News or CNNs, when the U.S. and Russia are discussed, it's never anything good. It's never, a trade agreement, anything. It's never good news. So, I guess the takeaway from this is, what are we to think? Because I don't know about you all, but I care about what goes on in this world. I don't want war. I don't want people to die. And I see situations like this, and it makes me sad because, clearly you've got tension with another country. Directly or indirectly, either way you want to look at it. But there are there's a deep divide between the United States and Russia. There always has been. It's always been an uneasy alliance, if you even want to call it a damn alliance, because I don't. I think secretly, we've been their friend to their face and been ready to stab them in the back. Same thing with them. They've caught spies in this country that, there's a number of different, China too. It's no secret. There's just a lot with, it's a multifaceted situation. There's a lot of moving parts with it. It's not cut and dry like, certain things are in life. And this is just one of those things where, what do you think of it all? Well, I think there's truly a problem. And truly the people that are in charge think that, and it's bitten us in the ass in the past. Look at Al-Qaeda. Back in the 80s, we trained them. We supported them financially and militarily. It just seems like we haven't been doing a good job lately of picking sides in these conflicts. I'm not saying that we should be, pro-Russia, but I mean, you've got to choose your battles a little more carefully because I mean these kind of situations. I mean, a war with Russia would be catastrophic. It would go nuclear quickly. I'm not suggesting whether we would win or lose because I really don't know. I mean, technologically, we're light years beyond them in terms of planes and I mean, do they have the amount of troops to take us on? Yeah, sure they do. And would it be a bloody and messy war? Sure it would. Who do I think would win? I don't know. I don't really think there would be a winner. Both sides. It would be sad. It would be a sad day if that were to ever come to pass. Which, I mean, I do believe eventually it's going to, inevitably. But, I don't believe necessarily it has to be right now. Though I do see it being a very good possibility. I don't know. It's a sad state of affairs right now. I'm not a doom and gloom kind of person. At least I try not to be. But I'm a realist, and reality is right now things aren't looking good. Two different theaters of war. Same two nations involved. You do the math. I mean that's not a good sign. But I'm also I try to remain optimistic. I do still think that there is hope that this could end up not escalating and end up not becoming a bigger issue than it needs to be. Especially when you're looking at two situations that, in theory, especially when it comes to the United States, really has no direct impact on us. I mean, yeah, Ukraine does deserve their sovereignty, and do I believe that Russia should have invaded them? Hell no. But also, I don't know. It's a tough situation. And it's just damn sad because were it to ever come to pass that we went to war with Russia, holy shit, it would be messy. And there'd be other countries involved, China, Iran. You can go down the laundry list of the axis of evil countries that Bush mentioned, and it could be messy. But the thing that everybody needs to all keep in mind is the figures that are at work here. Okay, it's a little bigger than just Obama, Putin. I mean, there's bank interests. There's a number of factors when it comes to who's going to go to war with who. And am I suggesting New World Order or Illuminati? Maybe. You've got the Bilderbergs. You've got there's a lot of different parties that are involved in all that stuff. So, I mean, is it possible? Absolutely. You take a look at the presidents and world leaders. There's the people. It's not the world leaders that you have to pay attention to, people. It's the people that are around the world leaders, the ones that are in their ear, always telling them what to say, and kind of prepping them for a press conference or whatever the case is. So I really don't know. It's scary stuff. I mean, I'm not a doom and gloomer, and I'm not sitting here saying, be afraid, World War III is right around the corner. I mean, it could be. It could be. For all I know, it could be. I could be just be too optimistic. I don't know. But, at the end of the day, the thing that matters is that we do what we can, as citizens of this world to try and exact change, But, there are forces at work, in the world, evil, good, whatever you want to call it, that have these plans. I mean, it's not a secret. There are things such as the Illuminati and these little secret groups. I'm not saying just Illuminati, but it's out there. So, just my 2 cents on the whole thing. It's a scary situation. That's I guess the conclusion I hope we can all draw from this. Just be in the know. Don't be asleep. Don't be necessarily accepting every piece of news that is fed to us through our all these 24-hour news networks, because they don't have our best interests at heart. So, all right, everybody. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you all very soon. Peace.